Hey guys, welcome back to Together We Are Thursdays. This week we're responding to a request that I received on my personal channel regarding how to cope when people are discussing diets, dieting, losing weight around you, how to deal with that. This is so much easier said than done, because eating disorders are very tenacious and they will grab onto anything they can and make a weapon against you out of it. And it's hard. One of my viewers on my personal channel, she asked for some advice on a topic, and I emailed the rest of the team because I thought it'd be really cool for us to each share our wisdom on this, because I think it is a huge issue that is not discussed enough. I actually just tried doing a whole bunch of research on this, and it's hard to find resources that give you tools for this. So if you are in the eating community and seeing this and you have some tools that myself or any of the other Together We Are girls have not mentioned, please comment below or make a video response. Obviously, this is a topic that we all deal with, and there aren't enough resources out there to help people. You can't just Google, like, eating disorder recovery, how to deal with being triggered by others losing weight. I mean, I tried all different kind of combinations of that, and went to a whole bunch of different fora and looked around for advice. The most important things are the things that you can do something about, like speaking to loved ones, as was already mentioned. Talk to your friends, talk to your family. Let the people close to you know that this is an issue you don't like. And even if you haven't been entirely open about your ED, you can just say, hey, you know what, you guys, have you seen in the news lately, like, there's a lot of people who are affected by this stuff, and I think we should try and not focus so much on weight and appearance. When we project discomfort around these topics, we can inadvertently contribute to the stigma and the hush-hush and the let's not talk about it. Mention, you guys, like, this can be a really toxic thing for some people. And hopefully take that opportunity to educate people a little bit. Not like overbearingly shove down your throat, here's a whole primer on every ED and like what they're all about and everything, but it can be a positive opportunity to raise awareness. It's really unfortunate that so many women hate their bodies, and that negative self-talk in this culture is accepted as a means of socialization, to pick ourselves apart in the mirror, to always be striving to lose weight, to bemoan how much we're eating. It very much is a cultural thing. And I think, getting drawn into it, great opportunity to bring up EDs, great opportunity to educate. So don't be afraid to speak out either. You have nothing to be ashamed of whatsoever. Amongst your friends, make an agreement, like, let's try to not do negative self-talk. And it can be really empowering. Even if you just have one ally, you will feel stronger because you're not walking alone, and you're not facing the big bad world of, like, infinite triggers and nobody by your side. Like, just knowing somebody is there who's, like, there to support you and remind you of the reasons that this shit doesn't matter. And that's a huge thing. This is one of the most potent triggers there is, especially certain times of year, like after New Year's, everybody wants to go on a diet to lose the holiday weight. Or now people are getting ready for summer and want to look good in their bathing suit. There's these periods of time where, obviously we're a thinness-focused society anyway, but there's certain times of the year where it's just ad nauseum, ad infinitum, you can't escape it. In situations like that, some things you can do, like when you go out in the world, prepare yourself for it, put some willful blinders on. If you go through the checkout, don't look at the magazines because you know what you're going to see. Or ask somebody to order for you, or ask somebody to, pick up groceries for you. Is there somebody who can do that for you? Just say you're not feeling well, like if you're feeling really triggered or having a difficult time. But definitely, like, you're not alone. This is so common. I think mental preparation before you even leave your home is really important. If you stay alert, and I want to say like conscious, alert, and oriented, right? If you prepare yourself for, steeling yourself against these things because you know you're going to encounter them, that can help so much. Just taking a mental moment to prepare and like get focused on, okay, I'm going into battle in a way. Like, I'm going out in the big bad world that's been obsessed, and I'm trying not to be triggered. So things you can do, like all of the recovery tools you have to empower yourself, mantras, positive self-talk, answer the negative self-talk, like, I am not my weight. Whatever works for you, whatever adages, axioms, proverbs, whatever speaks to you. You can recite them if you need to. But I find just taking a moment to prepare, like, okay, I'm going out now, and I'm going to see this stuff, but I am focused in my goal not to be affected. A lot of times, triggers that cause problems are those that come when we are caught off guard, when we aren't expecting it, when we're blindsided, like some trauma or crisis or unexpected stressor in our lives comes up, and there isn't that clarity of mind in order to deal with it. If you are present in your goal, it is so much easier to mitigate triggers, to not react. It's when we're blindsided that we're most vulnerable. So for that, we've done earlier videos on like tools for coping with triggers, and also, like things to keep you away from engaging in behaviors, from allowing pathological thoughts. Any tools that empower you are really important, and it can help you just take a moment, like before you even step out of your home, or before you log online. I mean, today I was doing research. I really hate this. I'll do eating disorders research, and 6 million lose weight things come up. It's disgusting. Like, it's a problem. Like, you really can't get away from it in this culture. So the best thing is to prepare yourself ahead of time. If you are expecting it, it is much easier to cope than if it just comes at you out of nowhere, especially if you're feeling vulnerable. And be aware of that if you're having a bad day and you're feeling vulnerable. Just, it's sometimes easier said than done, like I said before, but just, if you can talk to somebody, that's the best thing. Like, do you have somebody on YouTube you can text with, like, offline, or, just knowing somebody's with you in it, that we're united as a community and can support each other, that's huge. If you need to call someone, if you need to message somebody on Facebook, or just, this is why community interaction is so important, you guys. Knowing that there is an army of people out there walking similar life paths who are fighting in the same fight, it is so encouraging and so motivating. Solidarity, man, it's powerful shit. So that's my advice for dealing with this. I hope I answered your question well enough, or if I didn't, then I hope one of the other girls did, and thank you so much for the request. If anybody else has any topic requests, please let us know. It's not easy to come up with stuff every week after doing this for so long. So, yeah, we're more than happy to address anything. So if you have something you want to hear more about, just give us a shout. Eileen's got her giraffe. Tilty-headed Eileen's got her giraffe. You have the tiltiest tilty-head, Eileen. The question of the week ties into the topic, and some of my examples will also perhaps provide more tools as well. Intense triggers. When I am really physically sick, when I am very stressed, when there's a fight and I'm feeling vulnerable, or really, that's, I guess, what it comes down to, is any kind of emotional vulnerability. That can be really triggering for me, because these things develop as a way to cope, right? And typically to minimize / avoid dealing with genuine emotions, and or getting through a situation that is absolutely brutal and it's the only way to survive. You just have to detach. And unfortunately, I think that's what a lot of people run into is, yes, it's maladaptive, but it's often the most effective thing they know. And I think that's something that many of us will struggle with for life. I always come back to this warning in so many of the memoirs. Like, they all end with, all the happy stories where people are doing well, but they always have this caveat at the end where it's like the voice is still there, and you'll still be triggered sometimes. So yeah, like, acknowledging that, I think it makes sense. I mean, initially these behaviors saved us from whatever was going on, and then they lose their purpose and become extremely detrimental. So it's a common thing to have many triggers a lot. And really the key for that is you have to make the effort to learn healthier coping skills that will serve you approximately as well, if not better, than engaging in pathology. So my biggest thing is, when I'm in a certain mood, if I'm devastated or heartbroken or nervous or frightened, I can't, like, all of my stable time thoughts toward health feel so far away, and it's like it's in another world and I'm in a different place. There's this really interesting, I refer to it as like the thin red line between like health and pathology, and how you can jump sides, and whatever side you're on, the other side kind of has this mystical, not quite real feel to it, like very surreal. And I think that's one of the reasons it's so challenging and difficult to get out of that mindset, because all of your goals and all of your motivation feel so far removed and irrelevant in that moment. We're very much creatures of the now, and so if you cannot bring yourself in whatever moment of stress to remember your focus and implement these tools that you've gathered and get yourself out of a toxic mindset. If you can employ methods to calm yourself or regain a feeling of safety, leave the environment, listen to uplifting music, call somebody who can encourage you, look at your positive affirmations, whatever works for you. If you can shift your mood before acting, oftentimes you can wait out the acute panic phase that's going to encourage you to go backward in your journey, and buys you time to regroup and refocus and choose a better alternative for coping with any given situation. So really getting through the critical moment so that you can make a healthier decision. It's hard, it's hard, but it is possible. So yeah, for me, I've been able to do that, and I think when I've been criticized or having a day where I feel particularly, worthless, of no benefit to the world, just taking up resources and just down on myself for whatever reason, that's harder. It's harder to strive for positive things, but moods are transient and they will pass. If you can wait them out before throwing everything to the wind and jumping back over that edge into the abyss of EWE consciousness, if you can wait it out, you can climb back up. And you know what? If you do re-engage for whatever reason, we've already talked about this, but that's not a reversal of progress. If it does happen, if you can't get out, fine, learn from it. If you fall into the same pit so many times, you will find new handholds and new footholds, and it gets easier and easier to climb out. So think of it that way too. Opportunities to learn. Okay? Don't get down on yourself. It's a hard journey, and just triggers are ubiquitous. It's just par for the course, but there are tools we can employ, and we have each other, so you're not alone. And get somebody you can reach out to in any time when you need a moment to have somebody, even if they just need to distract you for 10 minutes till you get over the acute horrible feeling. It works. It really does. So, alright, so that's it for this week. Much love and be well, precious ones, and as always, let us know if there's anything we could talk about for you. Much love.